Welcome to your Career Cheat Sheet, a series focused on helping students build a career with advice from people who've been through it all before. We're here to make those first career moves less daunting. I'm Karen Ngo, a Senior CEO Communications Manager at Microsoft, and my personal philosophy is growing 1% every day through finding inspiration to share with the world. I joined Microsoft back in 2020 as part of the Aspire program, which is for new grads and those who are early in their careers. So in this series, we're going to talk all about the things personal branding, and I'll walk you through my favorite tool, the Career Walking Deck, which has made such a huge impact on my career here at Microsoft. We'll go through what it is, how to build your own, and where to use it in your job search and career development. And in this first episode, we're going to focus on the basics of personal branding, career narratives, and how they all tie into a career walking deck. So let's jump in. So first up, what is personal branding and why should you care about it in your career? I actually remember when I first joined Microsoft as a new grad, my mentor told me that I didn't have a personal brand and that if I wanted to succeed and advance in my career, I would need to build one. So I took his word seriously and set out to have 100 coffee chats in my first year with high performers, leaders, and people across the company. And I found that the people who stood out the most were always known for something. While being a subject matter expert is important, we also want our personal brand to be more than just that one topic. Your personal brand is not only your subject matter expertise, but it's your work preferences, your collaboration style, your values, and your interests. So at the end of the day, it's what people say about you when you are not in the room and how leaders decide who to give opportunities to. And while it may be awkward to talk about your personal brand, a great way to share it with others is actually developing a personal philosophy statement. So for example, mine is growing 1% every day through finding inspiration to share with the world, which I like to use to introduce myself. Now, as you advance in your career, you'll also start developing a career narrative, which is the way you connect the dots across your skills, your experiences, your interests, and aspirations with where you've been and where you want to grow next in your career. So this common thread helps you tell a story that should align with your personal brand. It's very helpful to have this handy for job interviews when introducing yourself and trying to advocate for why you are the best candidate and why you want this opportunity. For example, when I look back at my career, the common thread has been my ability to collaborate with people, build tools and solutions that optimized team processes and helped us save time. So saving time on the more manual and boring stuff has actually given me the opportunity to prioritize higher impact projects and get involved in many cool initiatives across the company. So my career narrative would be that I'm a storyteller and builder who likes connecting with others to solve problems. So as you are starting out in your career, make sure you're always reflecting on your skills, your interests, your feedback, and aspirations. Now, my favorite way to show and share my personal brand and career narrative is with a tool that ties everything together. It's called the Career Walking Deck. I like to call it the visual evolution of the resume and cover letter, and it's similar to a portfolio for those of you who are in the marketing or creative space. It's a 5 to 10 slide deck that helps you introduce yourself, highlight your key skills and experiences, and answer common questions that you'd get in a job interview or career conversation. And for those of you who are early in career, a career walking deck can be very helpful in helping you stand out against more competitive candidates who have more experience than you. So nowadays, I think about personal branding and career walking decks a lot, but I get that it isn't top of mind for everyone. So here's a few questions that people often ask me. The first one is, how do you use it in a coffee chat? My favorite way is to break the ice. Sometimes it could be a little bit awkward to meet someone for the first time. And when you're like, hey, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I actually would love to show you a little bit more about me before we dive into my questions. That can be a really great way for you to break the ice. Number 2, how to use it in a job interview. My favorite way is to answer the first question that you always get asked. Tell me about yourself. And number 3, how to use it in your job search. So after the interview or as you're networking with people, it's always good to include your career walking deck in your follow-up emails. It just gives them an extra asset for them to think about and remember you for. So when I was interviewing for my last role, I was trying to transition from sales operations, which was very reporting and analytics heavy, all the way over to corporate communications, which was all about storytelling. So even though I didn't have a formal background in communications, I prepared a career walking deck to highlight my communication skills and other transferable skills and experiences that would be relevant to the position. My manager actually told me I was the only candidate that prepared one, and it stood out to him. So he ended up taking a chance on me, and I will be forever grateful for this opportunity. And it was all possible because I dared to try something a little bit different. And so now I want to share that a little bit more with you. And since then, I've been on a mission to help others stand out in their job interviews and land offers around the world. For example, Heather used her career walking deck to answer questions about her background and why she wanted to move abroad. She ended up landing at Microsoft UK as a solutions engineer, which is so exciting. Another example would be Harrison, who said that interviewers were surprised and impressed by his creativity and clarity when he brought a career walking deck. This actually made him much more engaging and memorable in interviews, and he ended up landing a role in Microsoft sales. These are just a few of the many success stories that have been shared with me about how the career walking deck has helped job seekers feel more confident in the interview process. My goal is to help you learn this early in your career so that you can accelerate your path forward. So now you know what a career walking deck is and how personal branding can build the foundation of your career. In the next episode, I'm going to walk you through how to build one yourself, and we'll also be using Copilot to make the process easier. See you there.